freedom is always yours. I want to remind you of this today in this pep talk reminder that you never have to be stuck anywhere. Never get stuck again. Welcome, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here to help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. And my friends, it's all there ready and waiting to be activated by you, through you, and for you. If that sounds good, please subscribe. We'd love to have you join us on the channel. And who am I? My name is Jess. I am a manifestation coach and a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner. What the heck is that? It's a fancy way for saying I'm a personal trainer for your mind. I want to give you practical strategies so you can live your best life, like for reals. Practical, applicable manifestation techniques here. That's what you'll find. So if you want coaching with me, reach out below. Details in the description box. Quit making the monsters real. Quit making the monsters real. You have the capacity to go anywhere instantaneously. Imagination is instant. It always delivers. It always provides for you. It always gives you exactly what you want in the moment you think of it, in the moment you inhabit it. And what happens is that we diminish imagination and we give much more importance to 3D reality, which is just another version of us. It's another experience of us. It's like a different sense. It was funny. I found myself this week telling some stories the last few weeks. I started telling some stories and focusing my attention on a particular feeling I was feeling, a little seed. And it started to grow because that's what it does. When we keep putting our focus on a particular point and then describing it, narrating it, and we do it over and over again, we train ourselves. We know these are our 3 faculties: attention, story, habit. And I was habituating a state where I did not want to be. And I was describing it in a lot of different ways. I was looking for the right word to describe it. Not being satisfied, not being fulfilled, being whatever it is, letting it build and build. I was reverse engineering the very thing I did to actually extricate from myself from stress. I did the opposite of this, or actually the exact same thing in the opposite direction when becoming stress-free. And I've talked about that in other videos of how I broke free from stress. But I was reprogramming myself. And so many times we do this so subconsciously. We feel like certain things catch our attention. We naturally turn our attention to them. And then we start talking about them. We describe them to the people around us. We describe it to ourselves. We make comments and judgments about this thing that has caught our attention. And by doing that, we position ourselves somewhere. We position ourselves somewhere in consciousness. And what happens is these things can grow into monsters. They grow into monsters. And that's definitely what happened for me in this experience. And everything came to a head last night for me. This monster of a story, of a perception of where I thought I was at and how things were going. And it just got bigger and bigger and kept torturing me until I was doing a lot of old habits. A lot of old habits came up for me in staring down monsters. I'm sure you have habits of behavior, of emotion, when you are looking at a circumstance that isn't nice, isn't pretty, isn't fun. And so these habits are just a strategy. These old strategies came up to try and deal with this big scary monster that was in front of me. And I had the judgment of, oh my gosh, I thought this version of me was gone. I thought I had trained it out of myself. As I'm crying and just wrestling with this and in the feels of the feeling, I called a friend and regurgitated the story. That's what we do. We tell our story of why we are legitimately looking at this monster, and it's so uncomfortable and so unpleasant and it's so horrible, and there it is, and the hairs on it are blue and they have little spikes on it. The hairs are stuck all over my clothes and I hate it. We're fixating on all of the details and the evidence and describing this monster. This is what we do. And this is where I found myself. And it's always interesting for me to return to these states and experience them from the inside out so that I can talk about them and teach about them and drink my own Kool-Aid. And my friend said to me, after 20 minutes of me ranting and raving, he asked me a question, and I said, actually, will you ask me a different question? Will you ask me right now, would you rather be right or would you rather be free? He asked it to me, and I sat there and I didn't answer him. I thought about it for 30 seconds to a minute. You always know what the answer is, and you just got to make good on it. And so I moved. This always comes down to, where are you? Are you under the bed with the monster, crying and screaming and feeling the feels and looking at it and saying, this is so real? We give so much realness to these ugly monsters, scary, the fangs and the teeth and the pain that they evoke. And we are the victim, and we feel the feels, and we're wrestling with the monster when we could be free. That's us being right. You're right. There's a monster there. You're right. In your experience, there is a monster there. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be free? Freedom is movement. All you have to do is move. This is your godliness, is moving in consciousness. We've talked about this in so many videos. All you got to do is move. I'm going to talk about it in every video in some way, shape, or form for the duration of this channel, because this is all it comes down to. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you in your own consciousness? In the entirety of your godliness, which is your everything, everywhere, all at once, why are you under the bed with a monster? And so I had to, in that moment, I said to him, thank you for listening. Thank you. I'm not going to keep regurgitating the story about the monster. I'm going to hang up with you and I'm going to go move. And so you know what I did? I just went and I watched a YouTube video from a different creator that I really like. And that was it, because I moved in focusing on something else. And that was it. All of the judgment and the, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to fix it? The obligation to wrestle with the monster and try to get it out from under the bed and handle it. You know, all of that you can drop instantly. You drop instantly because it's a location. When you go back under the bed with the monster, we feel all that stuff again. We feel all that stuff again. It's all still there. All that story and the pain and it's all there under the bed with the monster. But as soon as you crawl out and you get up and you focus on something else, and instead of moving out of obligation, this is the reminder, move consciously. Quit giving the monsters reality. You create realness. If you haven't seen my Giving Things Realness video, it was a really good one. Check that one out. Quit making the monsters real. Your only job in this, the big secret, what everyone is telling you to do, of doing all the techniques, they're getting you to move. When you visualize, you're seeing the reality you want to be in. When you say affirmations, you're using the language of the person who has the thing already, or is the person they want to be, is experiencing what they want to experience. When you do any techniques, they temporarily transport you to the place in consciousness that you actually want to be. It's just that what most people do, they move out of obligation. We move around consciousness out of obligation. It's so unconscious and habitual. We see a monster under the bed and we crawl under there with it because we're so used to doing that, to putting out fires, to responding to emergencies, to dealing with challenges, to handling the 3D, handling our situation, handling our circumstances. We're so conditioned to do those things that movement doesn't seem to be under our control. And so when we ask, where is it? Where's my stuff? I've been doing these techniques. Where's my stuff? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Because it's here. It's here. Your stuff is here. Your reality is here. Your preferred consciousness is here. Your preferred reality is here. It's here now. It's here now. But where are you? You're still under the bed with the monster. And you're saying, where is it? Well, crawl out and get up and move. 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 You have to move. Back to my story. So I watched another video that made me laugh from a creator, and that was it. It was gone. Poof. I moved. Poof. I moved. And instead of hanging on to the judgment, instead of hanging on to, well, what does this mean? What does the situation mean with the monster? How am I going to deal with it? Do I need to do something different? This buildup of story that we feel we have to reckon with, we have to absolve, we have to fix. You don't have to do any of that. That's how you get tangled up. All of that stuff is like all the monster's hairs and its claws that we get tangled up with under the bed. We don't have to do that. We can just refuse to go back there and be like, I see you, monster, but that's not what's real to me. Remove realness from anything that makes you unhappy, anything that causes you pain, anything that you see that you don't like. What you're doing when you remain in it is that you're staying there, you're staying in place, and then you're starting to describe all the details, and right, you're getting drawn in with story and with attention. And then if you stay there long enough, it's going to be a habit. Whereas you go to your preferred reality, you focus only on where you want to be. You focus on only where you want to be. And if 3D reality isn't giving it to you, you give it to yourself. You give it to yourself. Close your eyes, literally go there. Do one of your techniques. I have it right now. It's mine. Affirmation, visualization, because it's there. This reality that you want, the thing that you want. Let's say it's the unicorn. Instead of the monster, you go to the unicorn. You pet its head. You feel its hair on its head. You put a little bedazzle on its little horn. You braid its tail. You know, you're there. You see the unicorn. You're touching it. You're feeling it. You're experiencing it. And you're investing yourself, your attention, and your words. And then your words start to align. Oh, you're such a pretty unicorn. You're such an amazing unicorn. Yes. Aren't you? Wow, you're so strong. You can just gallop. Look at you, gallop. You start to calibrate yourself with that reality instead of continuing to crawl under the bed with the monster. There's nothing for you under the bed with the monster except pain. And that's what I sensed last night under my own bed with my own monster. I thought to myself, there's nothing here for me except pain and suffering and misery. You can just drop it. You don't have to resolve it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just literally get up and move. This is the state of you as a creator, your ability to move. This is your degree of mental health. Can you move? When you're in the ghetto, can you move? And it's as easy as go watch a YouTube video that you actually like, that makes you laugh. And then don't go back. Don't pick it up again. Once you watch the video, so many people, what they do is they crawl right back under the bed with the monster because they feel like that's what's real out there in 3D reality. You don't have to move out of obligation anymore. You can literally drop it, let it go. This is what detachment is just the art of moving and never looking back and saying, that's never going to be me again. How many times have I been in this under the bed with the monster in the same spot, proclaiming this is what's real, this is what's true, this is what's real, this is what's true, blue hair, spikes, big teeth, dripping saliva. You're not obligated to stay under there. You can literally just close your eyes, see a new reality, and assume that that is true in this second, right? The desire for something, to be someone, to have something, to be in relationship, to have the money, that desire is your indicator that that's where you're meant to be. That's where you're actually meant to be. And so anything else is a waste of time. Battling the monsters is a waste of time. I went to a funeral this week of a guy who passed away unexpectedly. When we die, we move. When we're born, we move. When we change states, we move. When we're happy, we have moved away from other states. When we're sad, we've moved away from other states. Movement is the essence of consciousness. When you are everything, everywhere, all at once, you are deciding which area of yourself that you are expressing and experiencing. And it becomes all about movement. And it's a good reminder to see when people move in and out of this physical plane, like this person I knew that passed away, doing what he loved, which was amazing. We're constantly moving. That is the nature of consciousness. Our beingness moves around consciousness. You can move instantly. Do not move out of obligation. Move out of godliness. Move out of godliness because you are everything. Anything you can imagine, you can inhabit as truth, and then it becomes real. You give realness to it. This is the game. This is the art, and this is the science of manifesting. You're never stuck unless you believe you are. If you're stuck and you say, I'm stuck under the bed with a monster, you are. But the minute you decide, I'm just going to shift my attention, my focus to another part of the wholeness of who I am and claim realness, put my little flag in there, claim realness of the unicorn, then I'm in this peaceful place with the unicorn and I am there instantly, permanently, if I choose, if I don't just move out of obligation because I'm asking, well, where is it? Where is it? When I'm staring under the bed with the monster, turn your attention to where it is. Focus on where it is. Make your language line up with where it is. Oh, you're a beautiful unicorn. This is amazing. I love being here with you. Until it becomes habit. And then it feels like you're staying there very automatically because you've habituated it. And that's when it materializes. When you've habituated it, because you materialize the things you have made habit, you have integrated them into your beingness, and now you are experiencing them externally as well as internally, but it all begins internally. Movement. Thank you for watching. If you need a tool to help you recondition your mind, grab it below. It's always free in every video. Drop me a comment. I love to engage with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.